A prophecy foretold. Did you know that an ancient prophecy may have doomed the Aztec Empire before a single battle was even fought? The Aztec civilization was one of the most powerful and advanced societies of its time. At its peak, Tenochtitlan, the capital city, was home to over 200,000 people, making it one of the largest cities in the world. The Aztecs had a rich culture, an advanced understanding of astronomy, and a mighty army that had conquered much of central Mexico. But a legend from their past would play a crucial role in their downfall. According to Aztec mythology, there was a god named Quetzalcoatl, known as the Feathered Serpent. He was a god of wisdom, creation, and renewal, and was once believed to have ruled over the Aztecs. But Quetzalcoatl had left their land, traveling east across the sea, vowing that one day he would return. By the early 1500s, the Aztec Empire was at the height of its power, ruled by Emperor Montezuma II. But whispers of the prophecy remained, and when strangers arrived from across the ocean, many believed that Quetzalcoatl's return had finally come. A foreign invasion in the spring of 1519, the people of Mexico saw something they had never witnessed before. Massive, towering ships with white sails appeared on the horizon. These ships carried men with pale skin, dressed in metal armor, wielding weapons that spat fire and smoke. The leader of these men was Hernán Cortés, a Spanish conquistador with dreams of glory and wealth. When Cortés and his men landed on the shores of Mexico, the native people were shocked by their strange appearance. The Spanish wore shiny armor that made them look like gods. They rode huge beasts, horses, that the Aztecs had never seen before, and they carried guns and cannons, weapons unlike anything the Aztecs had in their arsenal. As news of these mysterious visitors spread, fear and curiosity gripped the Aztec people. Montezuma's dilemma, a deadly mistake? When Emperor Montezuma II heard about these foreigners, he was deeply troubled. Reports from his spies described bearded men dressed in shining metal, arriving from the east, the very direction Quetzalcoatl was said to return from. Montezuma faced an impossible choice. Were these men truly gods, returning as foretold? If so, fighting them would be a terrible mistake. Or were they invaders with bad intentions? If that was the case, then allowing them into his empire could be a fatal error. After much deliberation, Montezuma decided to welcome the Spaniards instead of fighting them immediately. He sent gifts of gold and precious jewels to Cortés, hoping to gain his favor and avoid conflict. But this was a critical mistake. It only fueled Cortés' greed. He now knew that the Aztecs possessed vast amounts of gold, and he wanted it all. The meeting of Montezuma and Cortés by November 1519, Cortés and his men, along with thousands of allied native warriors who opposed Aztec rule, marched into Tenochtitlan. The Spaniards were stunned by the beauty and size of the city, built on an island in the middle of a lake, connected by causeways, with magnificent pyramids, temples, and palaces covered in gold. Montezuma welcomed Cortés with great honor. Some accounts claim that Montezuma spoke words that would change history. "You have graciously come on earth. You have graciously approached your water, your high place of Mexico. I have kept this throne for you." Did Montezuma truly believe Cortés was Quetzalcoatl? Or was he trying to manipulate the Spaniards through diplomacy? Historians are still divided. But what happened next proved disastrous for the Aztecs. The betrayal and capture of Montezuma. Cortés quickly realized that Montezuma was not a god, but a man who could be controlled. He seized Montezuma and took him prisoner in his own palace, forcing him to rule under Spanish command. At first, the Aztec people were confused and hesitant to fight back. Their emperor was still alive, and they were unsure whether he was a willing prisoner or not. But as weeks passed, anger and unrest began to grow. The tipping point came when the Spanish massacred unarmed Aztec nobles during a religious festival. Furious, the people of Tenochtitlan revolted. They turned against the Spanish and their own emperor. Stones and spears rained down on Montezuma, and he was either killed by his own people or executed by the Spaniards. The truth remains a mystery. With Montezuma dead, the Spanish were forced to flee the city in an event called La Noche Triste, the Night of Sorrows. Hundreds of Spaniards were killed, and Cortés barely escaped with his life. The final stand and the fall of the Aztecs. Cortés, however, was not finished. After regrouping and gathering more native allies who hated the Aztecs, he returned in 1521 with a massive army and laid siege to Tenochtitlan. For months, the city suffered from starvation and disease. Smallpox, a disease brought by the Spanish, spread rapidly among the Aztecs, killing thousands. The once great city was reduced to ruins. By August 1521, after brutal fighting, Tenochtitlan fell. The last Aztec emperor, Cuauhtémoc, was captured, and the mighty Aztec Empire ceased to exist. Did the Aztecs really believe Cortés was a god? For centuries, people have debated whether the Aztecs truly mistook Cortés for Quetzalcoatl or if it was simply a myth created by the Spanish. Some historians believe that the Spanish exaggerated the story to make it seem like their conquest was destined by the gods. Montezuma never actually believed Cortés was Quetzalcoatl but tried to manipulate him through gifts and diplomacy. The Aztecs were not easily fooled, but hesitated to attack because they were unsure of the Spaniards' full power. However, other scholars argue that some Aztecs may have seen Cortés as a divine figure, at least at first, because of the legend of Quetzalcoatl and the shocking technology the Spaniards possessed. The legacy of the conquest, the fall of the Aztec Empire, marked the beginning of Spanish rule over Mexico, leading to centuries of European domination in the Americas. But the Aztec story did not end with their defeat. Their culture, traditions, and even their bloodline live on in modern Mexico. Their descendants still honor their ancestors' history, and the ruins of Tenochtitlan, now Mexico City, stand as a reminder of one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever known. Did history get it wrong? Was the fall of the Aztecs truly a result of prophecy and divine misunderstanding? Or was it simply a combination of bad luck, superior weaponry, and political mistakes? One thing is certain: what happened in 1519 changed the course of history forever.